Contrary to popular belief, all support is not created equally. I know, right? That's why I created the Growth Hub for moms raising autistic children, Facebook group to help moms through the challenges and the heaviness of autism in a judgmental society. That we constantly get, because they don't always understand autism and sometimes aren't even willing to. So support groups on Facebook are different because they offer more generalized support and resources for children, like with the educational resources and medical resources and things like that. And they are really great. And I belong to many of them. Um, but there was something that was missing. Okay. And it's all about the mom stuff that they were missing. So think back when you were going through the diagnostic phase for just a minute. What was that like? I know it's hard to go back and think about those things because it was a really hard time, and I get that. Um, I recall that people were really trying hard to convince me that the results would reflect that it wasn't autism, and that was mostly for my mom group at the time. And to be clear, their goal was to help and support me, all except for a few that were there were a few that were boys, but all the others were really wanting to jump in and help and be supportive. And they didn't mean any harm, okay, when they were trying to convince me that, oh, no, it can be this because my son walked on his tippy toes, or my son, didn't talk until he was 3 or 4, or whatever. Um, they just didn't have the experience with autism, okay? Which fueled their concerns, right? Our society as a whole still really doesn't understand autism, and that's concerning. But we are moving in the right direction. That's the good news, right? So there were, like I said, a few moms that were really not nice, really ugly, which is the reason why I actually left the group. But the majority, also because I didn't have time for that, because I had to dive into my son's needs. We had a whole new world opening up to us that we had to contend with. So, but I'm so thankful for those who were genuinely concerned and wonderful. Um, and they also learned something, and I think they're still learning something about autism, like most of the people. So my side of the family was super, 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 super supportive because we've had a couple of children that had unique needs in our family. And so they were very calm and supportive. And my in laws were really wonderful and still are wonderful too, which is amazing. And I know that not everybody has that. But I'm kind of painting the picture of what it was like during that time. It was still overwhelming, even with that. So when you don't have that kind of support, it's through the roof. Unfortunately, they all lived far away and they weren't near us. Um, so coming back to the original question, have you ever felt so isolated and wished that you can find someone who understood what you were going through and what you were experiencing? In episode 120 of the Thriving Moms of Autistic podcast, I shared the necessary ingredients for a solid support system. Okay. And check out that podcast episode on your favorite podcast app. And also find the link for the new Facebook group, the Growth Hub for Mom Raising Autistic Children, in the comments. Um, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I'm here for you.